A reading from the Gospel according to Mark. Jesus began to speak to them in parables. A man planted a vineyard, put a fence around it, dug a pit for the winepress, and built a watchtower. Then he leased it to the tenants and went to another country. When the season came, he sent a slave to those tenants to collect from them his share of the produce of the vineyard. But they seized him and beat him, sent him away empty-handed. Again, he sent another slave to them. This one they beat over the head and insulted. Then he sent another, and that one they killed. And so it was with many others. Some they beat, others they killed. He had still one other, the beloved son. Finally, he sent him to them, saying, "They will respect my son." But those tenants said to one another, "This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and the inheritance will be ours." So they seized him, killed him, and threw him out of the vineyard. What then will the owner of the vineyard do? He will come and destroy the tenants and give the vineyard to others. Have you not read the scripture? The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. This is the Lord's doing, and it is amazing in our eyes. When they realized that he told this parable against them, they wanted to arrest him, but they feared the crowd, so they left him and went away. The word of the Lord. I can imagine the crowd of people that are listening to Jesus tell this parable. And I can picture in my mind what the reaction would have been when they probably would have seen themselves, at least at first in the story, being the good and trustworthy stewards over creation that God has entrusted to them. Remember, a lot of these people who were following Jesus would have known the laws inside and out. They would have known the right behavior. They would have known what to do in order to be good, God-fearing, God-loving, faithful followers of God. And at some point in the story, it dawned on them, oh, Jesus is telling us we're these wicked tenants. We're the ones that he's accusing of having ignored prophet after prophet after prophet who were coming and telling us, you're not loving each other, you're not loving God the way you're supposed to, you're not being good stewards over the vineyard that has been entrusted to you. And this moment where he obviously draws an allusion to being the son of the owner, who himself, he knows he will be killed and that it will bring disaster upon them. The moment that it finally dawned on them, oh, we're the bad guys in this story. And of course, their reaction was to try to, they want to arrest him, not to change their ways, but to kill the messenger, as it is. So let's put ourselves in the context of this story. We're here. It's 2,000 years later. Now we're the caretakers in the vineyard. We're the tenants of God's creation. From the beginning of all things at the creation, we believe in this idea that there was a purpose for us to be here, that God made us to love each other, to love God, to be good stewards over God's creation, the lives and resources of our planet here. Sometimes we're better stewards than other times. Sometimes we're better tenants than other times. What would it be like to put ourselves in the place of realizing prophets have been sent to us to point out where we're not being good stewards over the creation? And we've watched as we've made decisions that have literally not been good for the vineyard of our planet, that are leading to things like natural disasters and sea level rise. We're watching how the decisions we've made have led to poverty, hunger. We're watching as there's decisions that have led to widespread death and oppression of people. Some real stark examples of where we haven't been good caretakers over the vineyard. And I believe God has sent us messenger after messenger to say, open your eyes before it's too late. See where you're not taking care of creation. I hope I hope that you and I can try to be good caretakers, where we think to ourselves, how could we take care of this planet better? How can we take care of each other better? When we see people who are going hungry, what can we do about that? When we see systems of persecution and injustice, what can we do about that? Let's put ourselves in the story of being the tenants in this vineyard, but change the story so that we know, oh, let's listen. Let's listen to those messengers that are being sent. Let's listen to Jesus, the son of the owner who was sent. This is our chance before this next generation, and it gets handed on, and it will be their turn to be the tenants in the vineyard after we're gone, and hopefully they'll be able to have done a better job than we've done. But for the here and now, it's up to us to decide what kind of caretakers we want to be or we think we should be. So let's be mindful of the decisions that we're making while it's being entrusted to us. Amen.